So where are physical fitness requirements for law enforcement missing the mark?
They're just not there, to be honest. Basically, one of the first things that law enforcement officers have to do, or aspiring law enforcement officers have to do, is take a fitness test. And amongst other things, they have their written test and their psychological evaluations and all of that. But the fitness test is one of the first few things. And then they get into the profession, and the further away from academy they get, the more likely it is that they're not in good physical health. And I mean, officers are, I think, 25 times more likely to die of cardiovascular disease than they are of like a crime related death. So this is a huge issue. And it's easy for the public to look at an overweight officer and judge that, how they respond in a certain situation, judge that the person is overweight. But now, I mean, my husband's a federal law enforcement officer, and so I've been on both sides of the coin. I've seen it from the public perspective, and then I've seen it up close and personal, and I understand the issues that law enforcement have once they get into the profession. I mean, it's just so stressful. It's demanding as far as sleep and shift work. The things that they see, the things they may have to encounter are I mean, they can take a toll on you. Eating habits are poor, especially for those working overnight. They have long hours, there's a lot of different reasons, and that all adds up into their terrible health statistics.
Yeah. Well, and even at, you see it in the military, but even at recruitment level, law enforcement's having trouble, it sounds like, just like the military, as I was saying, in finding recruits capable of getting through the training, never mind maintaining it once they're in and they're dealing with, that daily grind that you're talking about there. How are you trying to help solve this problem? Because I think that's one of the big components that you're working on. So what's that look like?
Right. So, it's hard from the outside coming in because I'm not a law enforcement officer. I do not claim to be a law enforcement officer, but this is what I do. I've studied this for a long time now. I've worked very closely with law enforcement over the years, training them and understanding the issues. So essentially, there's been a lot of different times where departments over the years have tried to instate fitness standards. And generally speaking, this is for local departments, not federal. Federal does have standards. However, those standards are a little bit loose, but they have standards nonetheless. Local departments have issues because they run up against laws that start from, in the 1960s on up. And when they try to instate these physical fitness standards, they basically run the risk of getting sued by current law enforcement. So I created a program to basically take aspiring law enforcement officers before they even go into the process, before they take their physical abilities test, before they go into academy, and start instilling healthy habits in them. Then once you get into academy, it's about 4 to 6 months, in academy, depending on where you are. And after that, there's a program, it's called Momentum, and it basically takes the recruits out of academy into their profession with short, intense workouts. And that covers an entire year span. So my goal